Hey man, Shane here. Before we talk about the real reason steroids can make you more attractive, let's talk about the false reason. You've probably heard it before. It's this idea that women prefer guys who look healthy, athletic, and strong over guys who look like drug-addled bodybuilders. And that's true. If you reach your natural potential, you'll look much better than the guys who go beyond it. But there's a huge problem with that argument. Consider a guy like David de las Morenas from How to Beast. He openly uses testosterone and he looks great. He looks like an athletic dude with a very lean body fat percentage. It doesn't look unnatural or alien or anything like that. And most natural lifters, if they're willing to put in the work, can get as big and strong as he is. They might not be able to comfortably maintain such a low body fat percentage, but some guys can. The point is, not everyone who takes steroids is enormous or shredded. A lot of guys take them to build muscle faster or with less effort or to keep their testosterone high even at very low body fat levels. In fact, if I had to bet, I'd guess that the majority of steroid users are still well within their natural potential. And so, assuming they don't get wild acne or run into any of the other cosmetic side effects, steroid users can look totally healthy, athletic, strong, and attractive. They won't necessarily look more attractive than a natural lifter, but they can look equally good, and they can get there faster and with less effort. The real reason steroids can make you more attractive is that most women consider it a major red flag. A few months ago, I surveyed a little over 400 women, and 79% of them said they wouldn't even consider dating a guy who used steroids. It was a total deal breaker. 21% said they didn't like it, but they'd give the guy a chance if he had other redeeming qualities. Only 0.5% of women said they actually preferred guys who use steroids. That's tough though, because we also surveyed almost 1,000 men, and 9% of them said that they were either already using steroids or were considering using them. That means that there are way more men who are using than there are women who want to date them. You could lie about taking steroids, but then your soul will rot, and what woman wants to be with a guy who has a blackened, rotten soul? Plus, if you're in a long-term relationship, the truth will inevitably come out, and then you'll have injected poison into both your veins and your relationship. Now, you could argue that women don't always do what they say they will. Maybe when she's filling out the survey, she's dreaming of a natural guy. But then when she meets the steroid guy in real life, he's so physically impressive that she just can't resist. That can definitely happen. Or maybe he looks natural, so she doesn't suspect him. And by the time he discloses to her, he's already got his claws around her heart, so she can't escape. That can happen too. But in both of those cases, even though the guy's able to overcome his disadvantage, the steroids are still a disadvantage. Going back to the David de las Morenas example, he's in a long-term relationship with his girlfriend, he's open about his use, and from a distance, they seem perfectly happy together. Maybe he managed to find one of the rare women who like that kind of thing, or maybe she loves him so much that she's willing to overlook it. Either way, he's a guy with a lot of other great strengths he can leverage. He's charismatic, successful, and ambitious, and he seems like a totally nice guy. I'm not arguing that steroids will make your dating life hopeless, just that they'll make your dating life harder. They're a net negative. So if you want to become more attractive, a much better approach is to build muscle naturally. That way you don't need to fight against the negative stigma of steroid use. I just finished reading this fantasy novel, The Magic of Recluse. It has this magic system in it where whenever you cast chaos magic, it causes you to grow older and sicker. It's a powerful form of magic, but as I was reading through it, I couldn't help but thinking all these chaos wizards were insane. Why would anybody ever make that trade-off? Even if you asked a billionaire, I bet you they'd be willing to give up their entire fortunes just for another 10 years of health and youth. And then I remembered steroid users. There are a lot of guys out there who make that trade-off, especially when they're young and naive. There's another form of magic though, order magic. It's more tiring to use and it's not as powerful, but the more you use it, the healthier you become and the longer you live. That's kind of like natural lifting, and it's a nice bonus that it also tends to make us more attractive.